Hello and welcome to the Feedback Show. I'm Stephen Bradley.
And I'm Colin Bradley.
This is the YouTube show where we showcase members' artwork from our website, colinbradleyart.com, and offer some advice and tips and ways to improve it. It's mainly Dad that does the advising. I am here just to facilitate because I am not the expert. Yeah, I push the button that says we go live. And that's about it. Bring up the pictures on screen for you. But that's as far as I go.
Well, I couldn't do it, so just as well you are there, Pete.
There you go. We're a team. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
This week we've only got a few submissions. It's possibly been because we have been away, and people have been thinking that we're busy, which we have been. In fact, we've got a podcast coming out on Friday, which we're going to be. You're going to be able to hear all about our Denver trip to Craftsy and all of the exciting things that we got up to. So that will be coming out on Friday. This show is going to be mainly to do with feedback and offering some advice. So, so let's have a little look at what we've got this week. It's mainly pet portraits. This week, apart from a bear, unless you're keeping a bear as a pet, then in which case it is a pet portrait. But I wouldn't recommend keeping a bear as a pet. So we've got a couple of dogs sandwiched between. So this is, I think, Pauline. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but lovely picture here for German Shepherd. Nothing specific requested on what to look at here, but she's still finding it a bit tricky getting into the medium, but she's done a good job here.
A very good job, yes, absolutely. A few things, though. The first thing, may I suggest the first thing, Stevie? Have you got your pointer? You know your...
I've got my pointer.
Good. Well, can you do something for me? Could you bring the top down to just below the tree line? Not on her picture, sorry, not on Pauline's, that one. Yeah, bring it down a little higher than that, just below, just a little bit, no, lower, just a little bit, touch, just a bit more, a little bit more, a little bit, that's it, stop. Okay, now go from the bottom and come up to when I tell you to stop. No, down a bit. Get that little bit of sand on the right hand side, just, that's it. Stop. Now creep in on the right to just show the paw. No, just a bit less than that. No, the other way. That's it. Perfect. Now the other side, I want you to bring that right in, so the German Shepherd is framed right in the middle, just a bit more than that. Just a touch. Yep, fine. Now you probably could come down at the top a little bit more. Now I've looked at that.
Okay.
Just a touch. Yeah. See what I'm trying to do? What I'm trying to do is frame the dog.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the dog now, how lovely a picture is that?
I see.
Now, I know I say, like Pauline's done, she's stopped it where she stopped it. But this is one of these occasions that really would warrant the whole animal, or the animal you see there. Nothing there is boring. The paws will be lovely to see. A little bit of contrast on the back would be lovely. So, and the background, I wouldn't suggest you have the ears sticking into the sky like that, but you could probably fudge the background as it is there. Perhaps bring the corn or the grass up a little bit, you know, if you were doing a background. But that would make an absolutely gorgeous picture. All right? Anyway, enough of that. Let's move over to Pauline's picture. Very good. The tongue creates a bit of a problem here. The tongue is a little bit white. It needs to be a bit pinkier. And funny enough, we have another tongue coming up very soon, so I'll be able to talk tongues today on it. And the other thing is, you see where the shadow is inside the tongue?
Yeah.
See that? That looks a bit weird on Pauline's, and I understand why she's doing it, because if you think about it, you're putting dark color on top of dark color, aren't you? You've already got a dark snout. So how on earth do you make it darker? Well, you just have to do that. I'm afraid, because it doesn't look right the way it looks as though someone's shining a torch in his mouth. You see what I mean? You've got something there that doesn't quite work together. Very hard. And although I'm telling you that, how you get out of it? Well, how you get out of it, you make it darker than the snout. It's as simple as that. So you've got to work on the colours of the tongue, so you get that transition between dark and light, and you can see it actually. If you look at the photograph, you can see where that transition is, and it looks natural. Yes, you see, it looks natural there, doesn't it?
It doesn't look easy to do that.
So no, it's not. No. Pauline, I understand totally that this is a difficult picture. However, it's a beautiful picture, and you've done a really good job of it. The other thing is, if you look at the eyes, you see the light in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd reduce that just a bit, and you can do, reduce it just a little bit, so it's almost just a bit bigger than a pinprick with the dark pupil. You got me? That would have made a big difference, because what happens when the light in the eye is too large, it like takes over. When you look at the animal, that's all you can see. It's a high point. So I do that. Just make that just a little bit smaller. And the other thing is, you haven't got any background on this, and I understand why people don't do it. It is hard. But even just a very, very simple background, something that's with a little light grey maybe and a little bit of that ochre rubbed into it, would have made a bit of a difference there, because you've got the grey at the back is just a little bit hard and harsh. And one final little thing, if you look at the nose, you'll see that we have a centre, that little centre area division between the two nostrils. That's slightly out, just slightly out. You need to have it just a tiny bit more central. And when I say slightly, I mean it's fractions of a centimetre. You can see, if you look at it now, you'll see it. You'll see.
Yeah, I didn't see that before, but it's
just a small thing,
slight thing. Yeah,
small things like that. But you've done a great job of the fur. Well done on that. The ears, what can I say? Really good. A great job. Few little things there that will, like you said, though, learn as much as you can, but you still find it difficult. Well, I'll let you just see it. So do I sometimes. So you're not alone.
Yeah, that's it.
We have to struggle on and do the best we can. But that's a lovely picture. And I love the dog. I really love that animal that you've done. I hope it's yours. I'm not sure where you got it from, or whether it's your picture, or whether you found it, on YouTube or whatever. But it's a beautiful picture, and I wouldn't mind doing it myself, folks. I think that is stunning.
Yeah, beautiful.
So if it's yours and want me to have a go, I will. But otherwise, I can't pinch them from YouTube, I'm afraid. But that's lovely. Well done on that. Excellent.
Fantastic. Next one comes from Kimberly. First of all, big thank you for the wonderful classes you are able to teach. You're a wonderful instructor. You and Steve make a great team and make a great website for artists. Well, thank you very much. I would like to ask how to improve on this second pastel drawing that I've done. Just seems to me that something is missing. Any suggestions would be wonderful. Gosh, only the second picture you've done.
Exactly the same. I was going to say that too. You beat me to it. Only the second one. My goodness me. If my second one looked like that, I'd be well chuffed. But no, well done. What you've done here, you've probably overdone the base colours here, because the richness of the fur doesn't come through, and it really has to. You can't get away with. You see, what happens when you leave everything like without any dimension, which is what happened here, it tends to look flat. It kind of looks as though you've ironed the poor old bear. So this hasn't got any shadows, you see, to give you the relief and the dimension that's there. If you look at mine's full of shadow, isn't it? So I think that's the first thing you've really got to look at. You've got to work out your dark colours. But of course, if you've got too much base colours on there, you're not going to get the colours to
in between getting enough base, but
I just want to have a quick word with Steve. I've lost the picture, Stevie.
Have you?
Yeah, I've got my face staring at me Don't worry, folks. This will all be sorted out, I'm sure, in due course. But
Oh.
all I can see is me on the screen. It means so I don't know whether you can sort it out or.
Oh, all right. Well, hold on a second.
Okay.
I'll try and get that back for you. It's probably gone for everyone. Is it?
I don't know if it has. Base.
Anyway,
Staring back
let me let me bring it back. Hold on a minute.
Talk amongst yourselves, folks.
Let's try that. Is that working? No,
It's the first time, Stephen. It's ever happened. We've lost connections.
Stop presenting. Present to everyone. I'm pressing the buttons, but it's not pulling it up. Let me try another thing. Hold on a sec. What I can do is do something else. Hold on a sec.
I bet you're working frantically there, aren't you, trying to sort it all out?
It's more that Google Hangouts, good as it is, when you want to screen share, it doesn't. No, it's actually Google Hangouts is not responding anymore. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. There's not a lot else I can do from here. So what we'll do is we'll hang up the stream.
I've got to...
Oh, well, go on, carry on.
Well, I was going to say we've nearly got to the end. We have one more to come, but we got to the end of the bear. That's really about all I was going to say about it, Steve. So if you want to call it a day there, we will.
I want to offer a bit more advice about fur, because getting the contrast in the fur is a thing that a lot of people, we've been speaking about it for quite a few weeks now.
Well, do you want me to just run through the procedure as a general procedure that you would use if you were doing fur? The first thing you've got to do, if you've got light fur, then you use lighter colors, and then you darken those lighter colors or strengthen those lighter colors with the medium tones, the ochres and the grays and so on. If you've got medium colored fur, then generally speaking, you still use the lighter tones, but then you can use the stronger colors. When you've got dark fur, you can't go in with anything light. If you do, you're going to weaken. Imagine if you've got, say you've got a dark ochre that you want to put on, followed by a very dark brown, maybe. Let's say you want to do that. And you're using paint. Now, it's like mixing it with white or ivory or light grey or whatever you've got, mixing it up with it. And of course, if you did that, it wouldn't be dark anymore. Well, the same thing's happening when you put very light colours as a base colour underneath the very dark colours. So how do you get out of that? Very easy. You don't put the light colours on. You put the medium tones on. You've got to put medium tone on generally, because if you don't, you won't have the tone coming through. For instance, if you want a dark brown or something like 283 or 177, you want to put that on. If you have a colour like ochre 182 would be a really good colour to use in the situation like that, because that gives you the tone of the colour, and then the darker colours darken that tone. You got the idea of that? That's how it works. Now, this is a general rule. Now, having said all that, there's lots and lots of combinations, but that's the general rule. If you put too much light, as indeed was happening here, you've got too much light base colours, then no way are you going to put dark colours on top of it. It just won't respond. If you did, they'd be very weak, Steve.
Okay,
that helps.
Well, I think that does. I think that does help. I'm just, I've got an idea.
Have you? Well, that's good.
Got an idea to try and get this back.
Well, this is a lot of fun, folks. I mean, I'm enjoying it as much as you're not.
Yeah, so just stick with me for a second, because I think I can get this back. I don't really want
There'll
to
be a
stop
rousing
just yet.
cheer all over the world if you do that, Steve.
Well, if not, then we'll have to
It'll be a
leave it.
thumbs down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what I'll do is no, we'll call it a day there. What we'll try and do, because we've got we had one only had 3. Good job we didn't have 20, didn't we?
We'd be in trouble then.
Then what we'll do is I'll try it one last time, but it's Google Hangouts is not allowing me to show my screen. Unfortunately, it's just stopped. So what I'll do is we'll put the next picture. It was a picture from Jill, actually, another German Shepherd. Actually, it was German Shepherd, and we'll have to include that in the next show because otherwise we'll be messing about for a little while, and I don't want to mess people about anymore. So look out for the podcast that comes out on Friday that tells you all about our Denver trip. We've got a blog post on our website, colinbradleyart.com. So if you actually want to see some behind the scenes photos and things like that, then we've documented a little bit of the trip on there. So yeah, well, I hope you've enjoyed this very short, quick, glitchy feedback show.
And all the ad-libs.
Yeah, and
the pressures and the sweat and the tears.
Well, there you go. It doesn't always work. Technology isn't always great, and what can you do? What can you do? Anyway, so okay. Well, thanks for tuning in for a brief period of time. I'm Stephen Bradley,
And I'm Colin Bradley.
See you next time, hopefully.